Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we will learn that how to find logarithms and how many parts are required to find logarithm of a number. I'm not going into the details of the definition of the logarithms. I am interested to explain you how to find the logarithms. I will first explain you how to numerically calculate the logarithm of a number. So I will start with an example. Actually, logarithm contains two parts. Uh, One is called characteristic, characteristic, and the second one is called mantissa. These are the two parts which are required to find a logarithm of any number. So I will first explain you that how to find the characteristic or what is a characteristic. So let's start the discussion with characteristic. By definition, the characteristic is called, it is the integral part of logarithm of any number, It may be positive or negative. So this is a definition, but before going into the details that how we will find the logarithm, first we will learn that how to find the characteristic. So to find the characteristic, I would explain you there are the two procedures which people can use. One is that we convert the expression into the scientific notations, and then we can find the characteristic. And other ways which I feel that is much simpler, I will use that one in the explanation that how to find the characteristic. So I would write a few examples on the left hand side of this column, like in this way, and I would write the characteristics right in front of each part. Like if it is a number, right here, and I would write characteristic. Right here. For example, if I have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to identify first of all where is the decimal place. So like 1 to 1234, decimal point will be right here at this position, and right after the first non-zero digit on the left hand side you have to place a cap sign. This cap sign is basically called a reference position. This reference position help us to find the characteristic. I have to simply count the number of digits between point of reference and the decimal. How many digits are there? So if I count it, you can see that 1, 2, 3. So characteristic of this number will be 3. If I write another example, this is the first one I explained. See another, for example. If I have a number that is, for example, 7, 8, 6, 1, 4. It is a 5-digit number. So first task is that I should place a cap sign after the first non-zero digit, and I should find the decimal. Where there is decimal, I will count the number of digits between cap sign and the decimal sign. So you will see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. So the characteristic will become 4. I'm finding the characteristics of the numbers which are bigger numbers, or in other words, you can say all these numbers are greater than 1. Actually, there are the two categories to find the characteristic. One is for to calculate the characteristics for the numbers which are greater than 1. And I'm writing in the first phase all the examples which are greater than 1. because characteristics of all such numbers which are greater than 1, it is always positive, and it is written normally like I'm writing 3, 4, these sort of examples. If you see few more examples just to explain that how to find characteristics. So for finding the characteristic, let's suppose if we have 15.86. So as explained earlier, first of all, you will place the cap sign. So how many digits are there between cap sign and decimal sign? There is only one. So you would write the characteristic will be 1. See another example, like if we have 3.569 in this number, you will place a cap sign. So how many digits are there between cap sign and decimal? So there is no digit. So in that case, the characteristic will become 0. So I have written 4 examples on the page to explain you that how to find the characteristic of a number which is greater than 1. So all the numbers which are written on this page are written obviously greater than 1. I have explained you that how to find the characteristic. Now I would explain you again the characteristics of the numbers which are less than 1, and less than 1 are written as, like, for example, I would write here the numbers and I would write their characteristics right in front of it, each number. Let's suppose I have a number, suppose 0.0125. You can see that this number is less than 1. It is smaller than 1. So what we have to do, we will first place a cap sign after the first non-zero digit. So in this example, the first non-zero digit is 1. So we have to count again the number of digits between cap sign or point of reference and decimal. You will see there are how many digits? 2 digits are there. But in this case, because decimal is written before the cap sign, so you have to place a negative sign, but negative sign is written over the number 2, like this one. So this will give you or indicate that this is the characteristic. Actually this is -2, but we symbolically write it as 2 bar. See a few other examples, like we have number 0.0079 in this case. Again, you will see if I count the number of digits between decimal sign and cap sign, so there are 3 digits. I will simply mark 3 bar. And obviously, if you consider another example, that is like 0.0006. In this case, you will see that the characteristic will be 4 bar, because it contains 4 digits between decimal sign and point of reference. So after explaining these examples, you should be able to find characteristic of a number. The next is how to find a mantissa from a logarithm table. We can use calculator as well, but for your better understanding, we should first know that how to find the logarithm by using a logarithm table. So I will write an example on the page first, and I will explain you that how to get the values of logarithm by using a logarithm table. So if I have to find the logarithm of a number, I'm interested to explain that how to find the mantissa. For example, if I have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, for the table consultation, it is important that we should have 4-digit number, because table helps or finds the values of such numbers which are written in 4 digits. So I would explain you that if it is a number right in front of you, that how to find its mantissa. And about mantissa, I also want to define it as well, that mantissa is the fractional part of logarithm of any number. Fractional means decimal part. So its answer of the mantissa will always be in the decimal form. So I'm going to explain it now that how to start. So you have to write the number. If this number contain, like I have written 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's suppose if I place a decimal sign somewhere here, if it is 12.34, suppose. What you have to do, you have to write all these four numbers without decimal in some separate portion of the page, like I am writing. And you will pair first two parts, like this one. And we have to see in logarithm table the two values against each of these numbers one by one. How to see? Now, if I explain you about the logarithm table, you can see that this is a logarithm table. So first of all, if you see that this one where I have placed a sign which is on very much on the left hand side, we will see that these are the table values which we have to consult this. Okay. So how to start it? Like first of all, you have to search 1, 2, number 1, 2 in this column. So where there is 12, like you can see that this is written as 12. And we have to see what is written in front of 12 in column number 3. Like this is column number 3. This is column number 3. And what is written in front of 12? So if I read it, this is written as 0899. So I have to note it this one 0899. Then again, I have to see that what is written in front of 12 in mean difference columns. So for mean difference column, you have to choose the last number. The last number was 4. We have to see 12 in difference column number 4. So in number 4, 12 in front of 12 in difference number column 4, it is written 14. What I have to do, that I will add this 14 in it, previous number, and I will find the sum of this number. 9 plus 4 will become 13, 10, and 1 will be carried, it will become 11. So it will become 0913. So if I have to find the mantissa, I have calculated the mantissa from table value as 0913, because I told you that it should be a fractional part. So what I would do, that I will place a decimal sign right before it. So this is how you will calculate the mantissa from the logarithm table. Okay, students, now I'm going to tell you that how to find the logarithm of a number by using logarithm tables. In the previous video, I explained that how to find a characteristic and how to find mantissa. Now both of these values are required. First I will find characteristic, and mantissa. If I will add both of these values, I will get the logarithm of a number. So first task is simply I have to find the characteristic. In earlier part of this video, I explained you that how to find the characteristic, and now I'm going to explain you how to find the mantissa. So as I have done earlier, if I write it separately, you will see that what is the characteristic in this part. You will see that how many digits are there between cap sign and point. Cap sign is a position right after the first non-zero digit. So if I count the number of digits between cap sign or reference position and decimal, there is only one digit, that is 2. So I would write characteristic is calculated, this is 1. For mantissa, I have explained earlier that 12.34, for 12.34, when we will find the mantissa, its value is calculated as, or you will write it separately, 1, 2, 3, 4 without decimal sign. You will pair up the first two numbers, and when you will consult with the logarithm table, we observed that the number was 0899, and we added uh, 14, which was 12 in difference mean column of value 4. In column number 4, it was written as 14. We will add them together, and it will become 0913. So I told you about that for mantissa, you simply have to place a point sign right before the number, because this is a mantissa which is always taken as a decimal part or as a fractional part of the number. So we were required to find log 12.34. So this is the answer. 1.0913 is the answer of log 12.34. So only two things are required. First one, that we have to find characteristic. You can see that I calculated the characteristic right here. I calculated the mantissa on sideways calculation. This is the mantissa I have calculated on the sideways from the logarithm table, and then add them together. This will give you the logarithm. So this is the logarithm of a number. Now I will write another example in which we have to write the characteristic uh, which appear as negative logarithms. So for that one, if I write, for example, we will take another example. It is another example. For example, I am interested to find log 0.00 or 987. I have to find the logarithm of this number. So what we'll have to do, first of all, I have to find the characteristic. So we have to place the first cap sign. After the first non-zero digit, you will mark a place that is called a reference position and count the number of digits between cap sign and point. You can see that there are two digits, 0 and 9. So your characteristic will become 2, but because decimal sign is before the cap sign, or in other words, the number is less than 1, so you have to mark the characteristic as negative. Now, for finding mantissa, you have to write the number on a little bit ahead or a separate place, like 90987. So for that purpose, you will ignore the decimal sign and the number will become 987. If you will remove the decimal sign, ignore the decimal sign, the number will become 987. So you have to pair up 98, fine. So 98, and you will add a 0 yourself for the explanation, because I told you that we should have 4 digits altogether to find the logarithm from the logarithmic table. So if I observe 98 in the logarithm table, so I will get a value, 98's value in front of column number 7. This is written as 9943. 9943 is a value which I observe. 98 in the main column of the logarithm, and in column number 7 in front of 98 it is written 9943. And if I observe 98 in difference column number 0, so you will see that there is no this column, mean difference column with entry of 0. There is no heading because mean difference columns start from 1. So there is no number which we have to add in this case. So you have to keep this number 9943 as it is. Just place a point sign before it, 9943. So this is the mantissa. So when we have to find the logarithm of a number, it will be written as 2 bar point 9943. So this is log 0.0987. This is the answer of the logarithm. So I hope that you will be understanding that how to find the logarithm. The procedure is very simple. It's just a 2-line question, but for that you will have to be very vigilant, because you have to see the logarithm table very carefully. And you have to find the characteristic, then you will pair up these two terms. This 2 bar is actually reflecting this integral part. This integer is actually 2, which is negative. But this point or the portion which contain the decimal part 0.9943, this is positive. So we are connecting them together, but this 2 bar will always be written as actually -2. This is -2, but we present the answer in this format. So I hope that you will understand how to find the logarithms. You will understand the notation of characteristic and mantissa. So keep watching the next video and keep watching your assignment sheets so that you can practice all these questions, and then you will be able to find the answers of relevant questions in your worksheets. Thank you.